NBA fans most certainly know who made the highest points in a single game or who has the best shooting record. But there are some not-so-famous and plain embarrassing records that some players hold and would love to keep them a secret. For this video, we have dug out such records for you guys. Let's begin the NBA players with embarrassing records. 1. Most missed free throws in a game. Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond missed 23 free shots in one game not too long ago, which is quite shocking. Drummond has struggled to shoot 50% from the line throughout his career, so nobody expects him to be a good free throw shooter, but missing 23 is just unacceptable. Drummond, shockingly, nevertheless contributed to the Detroit Pistons' victory over the Houston Rockets, despite having no rhythm in that game and missing 23 free throws. The hack of Drummond was ineffective for the Rockets, but it was unquestionably successful for the history books. 2. Most field goals missed in a game. Joe Fulks. Fulks historically missed a staggering 41 shots out of a total of 55 attempts. This is likely a statistic that will never be repeated, respectively. At the time, this appeared usual. However, missing 41 shots in a single game is truly unbelievable, especially considering that he only attempted 55. Even though Fulks is a Hall of Famer, this record won't be broken anytime soon, and even if it does, the player won't likely have a job the next year. Moving on. 3. Most missed three-pointers in a game. James Harden. These days, everybody who keeps up with the NBA is aware that James Harden's statistics are not particularly surprising. The Rockets are taking the initiative to shoot threes each time they pass the three-point line and attempt to make as many threes as they can in a single game. Harden frequently relies on three-point shooting, so it is understandable that he managed to miss a staggering 16 threes in a single game over the course of 2 seasons. Are you surprised? 4. Most turnovers in a game. Jason Kidd. It's unlikely that Jason Kidd, one of the greatest pure playmakers in NBA history, is troubled by this statistic. It is expected for someone who handles the ball as frequently as he did to make a lot of mistakes. On November 17, 2000, while playing for the Suns, he committed 14 turnovers in a game against the Knicks. No player has ever been able to surpass Jason Kidd's turnover record, despite the fact that we have witnessed many ball-dominant players cough up the rock on numerous occasions. 5. Most technicals in a single season. Rasheed Wallace. Wallace's accomplishment of earning 41 technical fouls, roughly 1 per 2 games, is arguably the most astonishing, since Rasheed was just on a roll that season in terms of his disrespectful behavior toward referees. This is something that will probably never happen again. Rasheed simply lacked self-control, which resulted in losses for him, his team, and their money. Even though Wallace is one of the most well-known players in history, this record is rather embarrassing. 6. Most technical fouls in a career. Karl Malone. Karl Malone has the most technical fouls in a career, while Rasheed holds the record for technical fouls in a season. Over the course of his career, Karl managed to receive an astounding 332 technical fouls, which may not come as a surprise given the mailman's reputation as a very competitive player. Malone won this very unimportant distinction by defeating legendary talker Charles Barkley, who had 329, and Malone will likely hold the record for the rest of time because only a few players speak as much as Malone did. 7. Worst FT% shooter in NBA history. Ben Wallace, 41.4% FT. Ben Wallace was well recognized for his defense skills. His attacking game was essentially zero. He was known to occasionally miss layup attempts and was unable to shoot from anywhere on the court. His free throw shooting, however, was terrible, even worse than Wilt Chamberlain and Shaquille O'Neal, who hardly ever made 2 consecutive free throws. Wallace could hardly be relied upon to make any free throws, as his shooting percentage of less than 50% is simply embarrassing. 8. Worst FG% shooter in NBA history. John Monken, 27.2% FG. There probably won't ever be a shooter with a worse field goal percentage than John Monken. Although scoring under 30% is quite embarrassing, that is what people will remember this athlete for. Monken, a center who stands 6'8", tall and with a career average of 5.8 points per game, is undoubtedly one of the most easily forgotten players to ever play. Unfortunately for him, any center in the current NBA cannot accomplish his 27.2% FG shooting. 9. Worst three-point shooter in NBA history. Charles Barkley. Of course, there have been players with less than 10% three-point shooting, but it was mainly because they only attempted a few times over a season. But Charles Barkley is the worst three-point shooter in NBA history with at least 2,000 attempts, which is, let's just say, a lot. He only had a mid-range game, and his range was pretty limited. Barkley intended to control the post, and he succeeded admirably in doing so consistently. One of the greatest power forwards to ever play, but I think Charles will not enjoy being called the worst three-point shooter in NBA history. 10. Most minutes played without scoring a point. Joel Anthony, 28 minutes, 46 seconds. LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh were the Miami Heat's main offensive players in the 2010-2011 season. Joel Anthony only needed to be tall and rebound the ball. He didn't need to do anything else. His lack of any points in more than 28 minutes of play brutally showed that scoring was not high on his list of priorities. Anthony had virtually no opportunities to score and served only to support the paint, while James, Wade, and Bosh worked the offense. It is extremely amazing how Joel Anthony went for almost 30 minutes without scoring a point. Isn't that embarrassing? 11. Most missed field goals in a career. Kobe Bryant. Now, let's talk about longevity and consistency, but in a less than desirable context. The record for the most missed field goals in a career goes to the legendary Kobe Bryant. While Kobe is celebrated for his scoring prowess, he also holds the record for missed shots, surpassing even the likes of Michael Jordan. Breaking this record would mean being remembered not just for the makes, but also for the misses, a bittersweet legacy for any player. 12. Most consecutive three-pointers missed. Team, Houston Rockets. It's long been said that Houston lives and dies by the three ball, and in Game 7 of the 2018 Western Conference Finals, they died a horrible, horrible death. The Rockets' 27 consecutive three-point misses not only landed them in the record books, it also turned a 54-43 halftime lead into a 101-92 loss and crushed their dreams of finally overcoming the Warriors and making it to the NBA Finals. 13. Most consecutive free throws missed in a game. Chris Dudley. Chris Dudley, who you probably know as the guy on the receiving end of this nasty Shaq posterizer, was a notoriously unreliable free throw shooter, and he took things to the next level when he missed 13 straight from the line on April 14, 1990. Dudley has since gone down as the second worst free throw shooter ever in terms of percentage. 14. Fastest player to foul out, Bubba Wells. When Dallas played Chicago partway through the 1997-98 season, Mavs coach Don Nelson was determined to hack Dennis Rodman to pieces and send him to the line as many times as possible. Nelson was so determined, in fact, that he subbed in sacrificial lamb Bubba Wells, who only ever played 39 NBA games, with the sole intention of using him to intentionally foul Rodman. To Wells' credit, he was incredibly efficient in carrying out the hit, using all 6 of his fouls in 2 minutes and 43 seconds. 15. Shortest NBA career, James Curry. James Curry's NBA career started and ended with a 10-day contract with the Clippers in 2009-10. In that time, Curry played a grand total of 4 seconds after being subbed in during the dying seconds of a loss to Boston on January 25, 2010. Unsurprisingly, Curry didn't register a single statistic during his fleeting time in the sun. And that's it for this video of embarrassing records. Hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more NBA videos. To make sure you don't miss any uploads, smash the bell icon. Also, share the video and leave all your opinions in the comments section. I'll see you in the next one.